Free agency is coming along, and the Detroit Lions have some holes to fill regarding starting and depth positions for this football team. In this video, I'm going to give you 20 players the Detroit Lions could look to sign to fill up some of those needs. Now, if some of these players actually get signed while I'm making this video and or after it comes out, just keep that in mind. It is what it is. This is the NFL, and free agency is rolling along. But before we get into the main part of this video, if you think it's a real sound and smart idea to get in a relationship with Lorena Bobbitt while she's angry with you and she's holding something that can cut things off, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. Sometimes being a Lions fan, you can feel like you've lost everything. Also, make sure you take that like button with you and let that bad boy get all sorts of carved up. Let's get into today's Lions 20 free agents. Let's go ahead and start with a player that was released by the Chicago Bears, defensive lineman, big guy here. He could help out the Lions for sure. We're talking about Akiem Hicks. Now, he's a little bit older here at 32 years old, but we're talking about a rotational depth player at the defensive tackle position. We do need help to help stop the run. Maybe they feel like that the Detroit Lions could just go ahead and get a cheap player instead of drafting something for a more rotational spot for the Lions football team. Last year, 19 solo tackles, 3.5 sacks, 0 forced fumbles, 0 interceptions. When you think of Akiem Hicks, you just think of that stuffer, that guy that can help stop the run and get after the quarterback just a little bit, and he has done some damage against in the NFC North. There is some familiar coaches that understand who he is. Maybe the Lions could look that route. Cheap deal. Should the Detroit Lions sign a defensive tackle in free agency? Let me know in the comment section below. We do got Levi Onwuzurike. We do have Ali McNeil. We do have some pieces already that are young. But should the Lions, in your opinion, look to get a guy, to help out with depth-wise as well as getting an individual that's been in spots like the Lions need to be in right now? Veteran help. How about getting a linebacker? Yes, we signed a linebacker already with Board, but that's not the end-all be-all. I do think the Detroit Lions need to get help at the linebacker position. I do think they're going to address this in the NFL draft, but potentially they can go ahead and address this as well a little bit in free agency, and a player could be A.J. Johnson, linebacker there. We need some rotational depth. We need players that can have some experience. And I don't necessarily think that just relying on Alex Anzalone and relying on Board, if that's the case, what if there's injuries? You do need to have some players that can help out in the middle of the field. How about another player here that we're familiar with in Detroit is the NFC North rival, Anthony Barr. We actually looked at him before a couple years ago. He's a individual that has done good with the Minnesota Vikings. Now, their defense was a little bit lackluster last year, but they're also having a lot of issues. Anthony Barr is a really good prospect, though. He's got that prototypical size that you'd like to see for a linebacker, 6'5", 255. Yes, a little bit older at 30. It may cost a little bit more than some of these other linebackers that I'm talking about in this video, but he also does have experience, and he does still have some talent left in him. The Lions are all about the one-year deals. Maybe that's a possibility. Now, he could definitely re-sign with the Minnesota Vikings, possible, but could be an option for the Lions to look his way. How about Arden Key? Yes, the guy who we brought in. He visited Jacksonville yesterday. He's in Baltimore right here, so it's obvious that the Detroit Lions could potentially look his way to sign him because we had him for a visit. Lions trying to get some edge help. Looks like that Aiden Hutchinson's going to go number 1. Maybe they're not 100% sold on taking an edge at 2. Arden Key, he is not totally old, 25 years old, 6'5", 238. Did pretty good last year. Started to show out a little bit more than we've seen in the rest of his career. 11 solo tackles, 6.5 sacks, 0 forced fumbles, 0 interceptions. He still has the ideal fit to potentially really disrupt, help out getting to the quarterback. Something that the Lions need. We need to be able to make sure those linebackers are getting it done. And how do you do that? With pressure, pressure, pressure. That's exactly what we want to see, is we need to get some pressure for sure. Another player that the Detroit Lions could look at is at the safety position. How about Deshaun Elliott? Lions need safety in a big way, and we're definitely not spending a whole lot of money right now. And this is a guy I don't think it's going to cost a whole lot. He's 24, 25 years old. Look at his stats last year. It's not the greatest, but I think he's definitely better than Will Harris. 19 solo tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 1 interception, 2 pass defense. Better than Will Harris, and I do think the Lions still going to address the safety position in the 2022 NFL Draft. Get a veteran back there, not too old. It is an upgrade. And when we do draft a player in the safety position, where it'd be at 2, 32, 34, you still have a veteran that can help out if there's injuries. And that, I think that's the most important part of this. We've seen what happened when you get savage with injuries. We've seen what our starter like Will Harris can do. Do you really want to rely on that? I sure as hell do not. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's get to 400 likes in this video. Yeah, it sucks sometimes hitting those like buttons, but that is exactly how this video gets pushed out there. The more likes we get, the more chance that this video can get pushed out there, and maybe some people can see, we'll learn some about free agency and some of these prospects. Again, we're looking at edge. There's a lot of edges still available on this market, and one being Derek Barnett, Philadelphia Eagles. Could the Lions look his way? Possible. Maybe it costs a little bit more, but we still need to get some players that can get after it. And you're going to see quite a bit of edges and linebackers here because that is one of the biggest needs for this football team and safety. But we need to be able to get pressure. We need to be able to build the core up a little bit more. Talking edge-wise, we're talking linebacker, and this guy can get it done. Get after the quarterback, smack him up. Is he what he used to be? Probably not. But there's nothing wrong with still getting a player that can get it done for sure. Another linebacker here the Detroit Lions could look at, and that's Anthony Hitchens. Look, man, the Detroit Lions need help, and Kansas City Chiefs is a guy where he came from. He can get it done. It's interesting when you look at him, too, because I think he's got a lot of positive attributes, but he's also got some negative attributes as well. I think he'll still be a better signing than Chris Board. He could be a filler for sure. Again, we're not talking about a big-time contract here. We're talking about a guy that could just help out, contribute. Edge rushers. Now, we talk about a guy that can disrupt. He definitely disrupts when it comes to fireworks. He disrupted his hand for sure. We're talking about Jason Pierre-Paul when he was with the New York Giants. Felt like he blew his hand off. But he's actually been pretty good even at his age of 33 years old. Getting it done for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they have Tom Brady. Still getting pressure. Now, he's not what he used to be. That's facts. He's not. But a one-year deal, that's what he's been going on. And I have no problem just getting one-year deals. May cost a little bit more because he is a name. But at the same time, if you want to get some help and you want to look that way, you can get it done with him. How about KJ Wright, the linebacker from the Seattle Seahawks? They're letting a lot of people go over there. Seattle's in an ultimate rebuild mode, and he's not the greatest player. He's not the best linebacker, probably even on this list. But KJ Wright is still a possibility Lions could look at to beef up the middle of the field. I have no problem with that. Linval Joseph for the defensive line would be an interesting player for the Detroit Lions. Again, we still need defensive line help regarding depth. This one wouldn't be too bad, but he's older. He is older. He's long in the tooth. I'm not sure exactly how that would look to be for him. Yeah, he weren't really looking too good last year. 30 solo tackles and 1 sack. He's getting older, but we're talking about rotational player for sure. Just a guy to give a breather. If you don't have those breathers, you're going to have some issues. Next player on my list I actually would love for the Lions to sign. I think it could really help out the Detroit Lions here, and that is Kyzir White, the safety. The Lions need help at safety. I think he could be a good one for the Detroit Lions. Younger guy, 26 years old, something that fills a need as well as is pretty good. So he's not the greatest safety on the board, that's for sure, but you're going to draft one, and I think that would be a nice option for the Detroit Lions. Another nice option is you to go to chatsports.com/LionsBet, go to BetUS, make a little bit of money. You can bet on NBA games, you can bet on MLB games, you can bet on the NFL draft. That's what it's all about. Make a little bit of extra cash. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So Again, put in a promo code Lions125, get a 125% deposit bonus. Chesssports.com/LionsBet. Tyrann Mathieu is the big name on this list. I talked about it before. We all know who he is. Honey Badger. He's a very good safety. He definitely can help out the Detroit Lions in a big way. He's the big name on this list who's not signed yet. Now, this one's going to cost you some money, but you want to make some plays, you can get Tyrann Mathieu on this football team. I know a lot of people may not want him because he's going to cost some money, but we have a gaping hole at safety. The Lions probably would pass on him because right now they're being field goal with that money. Still, I got to put him on this list because he is a good player for sure. Melvin Ingram is also an individual Lions could look at here at the edge position, a little bit older. We talked about him before the last couple of years. Adding him to this football team, it hasn't happened yet, but he still has some left in the tank. He still can. Now, again, edge rush, we're talking about rotational players. I'm not talking about the big guys, and I think that's kind of what you're seeing with right now with Brad Holmes, but they're younger. They're definitely going younger there. Still, I got to put him on this list because he's still available. Interesting player here next is Jabril Peppers, the safety. He's well-known here in Michigan. Came from Michigan. He's still young, 26 years old. He's not the greatest safety on the board, but I think it'd be a solid acquisition. Still, like I said before, the Lions are going to go ahead and draft a safety in this year's draft, so having him as a potential backup could help out. Now, stats are not that great. 19 solo tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 0 receptions, 1 pass defense. Still, he's better than Will Harris. That's not even a dispute. Will Harris is garbage. He is better than that. The Lions need all the help they can get at that safety position. Go out, get a safety, whether it be him or someone else. Another safety is Ronnie Harrison for the Cleveland Browns. Lions need help with the safety position. This one is an interesting player. He's done a little bit better than you would expect here. Last year, 40 solo tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 1 interception, 3 pass defense. This is a guy who's 24 years old. He can help out the Lions in the safety position. Go out, attempt to make a play for this man. It's okay to get a veteran safety, even if you're going to draft a safety high in the NFL draft. We're very familiar with this next player on this list. I'd love to have a reunion back with Ndamukong Suh, one of the Detroit Lions greats, disruptor, getting after the quarterback, just a fierce guy for our football team, and he gave us an identity. Is he what he used to be? Absolutely not. No, but he still got some in the tank. Last year, he has 6 sacks, 15 solo tackles. He don't like Matthew Stafford. We've seen it. But you put him with Lee McNeil, and you put him with Levi and Muzurike, you're starting to have a pretty good rotation at the defensive tackle position. Bring him home. Why not? Let's not be too frugal with money. Suh deserves to come back. I love Suh, and I always will. Takk McKinley, the edge rusher for the Cleveland Browns. Again, another player, another name, a guy that the Lions could look to get here. Definitely good. Last year he had 10 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, a couple sacks. Get Takk McKinley, throw him on this football team, and again, it help out the rotation. And that's just, it is what it is. A guy that we're familiar with, probably not in a good way, is Tart from the San Francisco 49ers, the safety there. Why? Because he dropped the interception that would probably have sent the San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl. But his stats are pretty good at 42 solo tackles. Talking about 1 pass defense. So bring Tart in here, help out the Detroit Lions in the safety position. Get better. We just need to get better, and that would be nice for the Lions for sure. Folks, in the upcoming videos, we got the One Pride podcast on my channel, and it is every single Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so get ready for that. Make sure you hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, as well as follow me on all these social media sites. With that said, folks, adios.